Hello everyone, this is Jennifer with Creativity. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I am coming to you live from Lexington, South Carolina. I am actually in my craft studio tonight doing my free with a purchase class. This class is normally done on Sunday nights. However, I had to move it over, switched around the schedule, so here I am. I hope my video is clear on your side. It's a little fuzzy on my side, but not as bad as my last night video because it was fuzzy last night, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But I am getting my desktop pulled up so I can see any comments that come in while we are doing our projects tonight. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Share where you're coming from. I would love to see who is watching me from where. I'd love to see the different states and the different areas where people are coming live to watch me from. But I am getting everything set up. I hope everybody has had a wonderful and beautiful Tuesday. It has been gorgeous here in my area. And I've been pretty busy all day. I had to take off today for some doctor's appointments. And but I have been busy today. Busy. Been very busy. All right, guys, I am up. Looks like everything is good. So let's cut that out, and I can see any comments now that come through. Welcome, everyone. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for being here with me tonight as we do our crafting. Now, keep in mind, tonight's projects, there are 4 projects. This is my free with a purchase class. So if you place a order from now to Friday, a minimum of a $45 order, you will get all the products that I am using tonight for the kids for free. So you will be able to make the 4 projects I am doing tonight for free if you place a $45 order. All right. So I am getting the projects now. We are going to be using one of the new online exclusive items. It is called Friendly Foliage. And so this is going to be one of the new online exclusive products that is available. And it is currently available for you to purchase it now. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the camera down so you can see what I am working with. Also wanted to let you know that I have our friend Sip and Kit Girls Night Out this Friday. I cannot wait to craft with you. For those that registered, if you did not, but you see that you are available and would like to attend, if you will just reach out to me, I do have some extra kits. We will make a spot for you, as I would love to craft with you this Friday night from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock. So if you want more information on that, please let me know and I will be happy to get that information out to you. All right, guys, it is time to get started. I am going to turn the camera down and share with you on this. And then next week, since that is Thanksgiving, be on the lookout for a Black Friday sale. Stampin' Up! Is also doing a Black Friday sale, and I also have my own Black Friday special that I will start advertising the day before Thanksgiving, and it will probably run through Cyber Monday and then cut off from there. So stay tuned for more information. It is coming. I will probably start announcing it Sunday during the Facebook Live, or I will do a special video for that. I'm not quite sure on that yet. But be on the lookout for next week. There will be a Black Friday special, and I would love for you to take part of that as well. All right, guys, let's turn this camera. Now, you're going to have to give me a minute because I'm going to have to do a little adjusting because you're actually in my video mount. So I've got to turn everything around and tighten it all up here. So give me 1 second so we can get it adjusted. All right. And today is an exciting day for demonstrators as pre-order started for the new mini catalog that is going to be going on, that goes live for customers starting in January. You were able to order today from the new mini catalog. So be on the lookout. If you're not on my email list, please make sure you join that because I will be doing a survey probably next week about wanting to know if you're interested in a catalog. So be on the lookout. It is coming. All right, I think I've got my lighting fixed so it's not too dark on my table. I did a thing for you, and I hope you enjoy it. This is a sampler of all the things that you could do with this bundle. So this set is the new, it comes with the new packaging. So this is the way our bundles now come. And just so you know how I will be storing mine is it's in these sleeves, but then on the back side, I put my magnet sheet inside of the sleeve, and then it has the dies on it as well. Now this die is a two-tone die cut, so if you cut it, if you use just this, then you will get this cut out, okay? But if you use this and this, it cuts out this image right here, okay? So you have to use these together and it will cut this out. If you use just this, then you're going to get this cut out. All right? Hope that makes sense for you. And as we do our projects tonight, you will see that. And then, of course, we have the stem here that cuts out this one. See how that cut out that? And then we have the small one, which cut this one out. And then we had this leaf, and it cut this one out. And then lastly, we have this one, and it cut that leaf out. All right? So those are the dies. And then what I did is I took it one step further. Let me close that up. Then I took it one step further, and I did all the stamps over on this side. So I stamped each image on here, giving you a layout of how it's going to look. Hello, Mom. And then for the storage with this, I have the front side is the part that has all the labels in it. And then here is the stamp set that goes with it. So what I did is I just slipped it in the back of the label cover. I'm not going to keep it in. I'm not going to keep pulling this out every time. So I just slid mine on the inside just like this. So you can turn it over, see the stamp, and then you can see the images there that it goes with this stamp. All right? Hello, Debbie. All right, so that is the sampler that I made using the friendly voltage. And then we are also going to be using one of the new punches that is an online exclusive punch. This is called a 3-banner punch. So you've got 3 different types of banner punches here. And let's see, I can give you some examples. Let's punch these out so you can see what they are like. So this is going to be, move this out of the way. This is going to be one of the punches. Here is the middle punch. And then lastly, come on. Hold on, guys. Then lastly, let's do this last punch. And then that is the last punch. So it is a really good punch to have, but it is called 3 Banner Punch, and it is an online exclusive item. All right, so that is that. We went over the stamp set. What else? Oh, in one of my cards, I am using this is also an online exclusive item, and it is called Lasting Linen, and it is a background stamp, and we will be using this tonight. So here is the stamp that we will be using. These are the stamps that used to be on the red rubber. But now, because we're not doing red rubber anymore with Stampin' Up, this is how those background stamps are going to look. So we're going to be playing with that tonight. So that is the other bundle, the other set that we are going to be using. All right, I think that's all I need to share before we actually start our projects. We're going to go ahead and dive into the projects itself. Let me move all of this out of the way. As far as the ink colors go, we are, and this is very unusual for me, but we are sticking with the Pretty Peacock. Pretty Peacock is the color that we are going to be using tonight. I think you're tilted a little bit. Let me see if I can straighten you. Just a little bit. Hold on one second, guys. Yes, that looks better. All right. Much better. So I am sticking with one color, Pretty Peacock. I will be doing some heat embossing, and I am using the white Stampin' Up embossing powder with that. All right, so let's share our projects as to what we are doing. This is one of the cards. And here is the other card. And then here is a card. This bundle is really easy to use. I love this bundle so much after playing with it. And then there is the 4th card. Now remember, you can get these 4 cards, the kits to make these 4 cards with a free with a minimum order of $45, and you place it between now and Friday of this week. All right, so these are the projects we're going to make tonight. So let's start doing these. They're simple, but also very pretty and easy for any level to do, regardless of your level of crafting. Hello everyone, welcome that has joined in after I've gotten started. I appreciate you being here. If you would drop in the comments where you're coming from, I would love to see that. Thank you so much. Also, if you like my video, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, or follow me on Facebook. That also helps me grow, and I greatly appreciate that as well. All right, so let's dive in. We are going to put our cards up, and hopefully I put them back in the right order. If not, you're gonna hear me say, uh-oh. All right, here we go. Also, if you did my advent calendar class, that I teamed up with the other demonstrators, this is the bundle that I will be using, but not the projects. So if you signed up for it, this is the bundle that I will be using. And I do have 2 kits available that have not been claimed. So if you're interested, let me know, because that will be going out probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. So if you're interested, now is the time before it's too late. All right, because I got to get it out before the holiday, because I will not actually be working over the Thanksgiving holiday. My family is very active, and that is our family time. And so I'm going to be taking a few days away from posting and social medias, all that fun stuff, to enjoy the holiday with my family. That's also a time that we pull all of our Christmas decorations out and get our house ready for the holiday as well. So it will be going out next week. So if you're interested in the advent calendar that me and 2 other demonstrators are doing, reach out to me so I can get you in, because the registration has closed. However, I do have 2, possibly 3 kits left. So if anyone's interested, just send me a message. All right, so here we go. Now, I'm going to do this a little different. On this one, I used crumb cake on here, but I want to do heat emboss, okay? I want to see what heat emboss looks like on this. I think it would look really cool. So, let's do this. I need to grab my gold embossing powder. Real quick. Let's see, where's my gold? Oh, that's copper. Here's my gold. All right. So, I stepped away from doing Christmas cards for this class tonight. So, it's always fun to step away, but also I am so far behind. Anybody else behind in Christmas cards? Because I am. I'm actually doing a Zoom Facebook group setting in a little while too, and that's one of my projects that I'm going to work on, is my Christmas cards, while I am doing a Zoom crop with a group of friends. So because I am behind. All right, so I've got that down onto my block. Now this background stamp, it takes the block F. So this is block F. Hello, Kimberly, welcome. All right, so let's dive in here and see what we can do with this. Now, I have not tried this with the heat embossing as the background, so fingers crossed this is going to work. I'm taking my little buddy and I'm running it over my piece of cardstock so I can get all of the static out of it. If you're not familiar with heat embossing, you want to take your buddy and run across it to take all the static out of the cardstock, so when you go to use heat embossing, it sticks. All right, so now I've got my VersaMark, and I'm going to just tap it all over my stamp. And I'm doing it this way because this block is so big, it's hard for me to hold it. Plus, I have old arthritis in my hands, and I tend to drop these big blocks. So I just like to do it this way, and that way I know it's secured. All right, I think I have that well inked. Now, if you have not done heat emboss before, when I go to stamp it on my piece of cardstock, You will not be able to see it, but trust me, it's there. So you do not want to touch it. Otherwise, you will smear what you're doing. All right, so I'm going to give it a good press down. Okay. All right. That should be good there. Come on. All right. And like I said, I've never used this as a heat embossed background. So this is going to be a first. So hopefully this is going to work. All right. So what I did is I've got it held up with my tweezers. And then we're going to sprinkle our embossing powder without getting it all over my workspace, hopefully. All right, cover it really good. And then we're going to shake it. Okay. Ooh. Let's see, did I miss that? Yeah, I did not give it enough there. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to still heat it the way it is. I think it'll be fine. So let's see what this does. We may end up scrapping this if we don't like it. Let's see. So I've got my heat gun, and I'm going to run this over. And this is going to take a minute because this is a big piece that we're embossing. There it goes. Come on. Oh, this is going to be so pretty, guys. Have y'all ever used a background stamp to emboss it? I've never done this, so this is going to be cool. All right, let's see. Almost there, guys. All right. Oh, look at that, guys. Do you see the gold in it? I think what I want to try to do, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to just take my VersaMark and I'm going to tap in these spots that did not get any gold on it. And see if I can sprinkle the gold over it and then do it again. Like I said, I've never done, oh gosh, no. Oh no, I really messed that up. All right, lesson learned, don't do that. All right, let me cut another piece of cardstock real quick. So we can see. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, guys. But that just shows what you do and don't do. And you don't restamp with just your VersaMark. So that was a piece of 3 3/4 by 5 piece of basic beige cardstock. Now, if you purchase this, remember it's free with the purchase. I will send you the product, but I cannot do any of the stamping for you. So that is totally going to be on you. So if you want your projects to look just like the ones that I am doing, you will need to purchase this. And at the end of the video, I will go back to my descriptions and list the supplies. I actually just subscribed. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I have been subscribed to a app that tells you all of the supplies that I use. I've just never implemented it. So I am working on getting that done. So, but I will go back in this video in the description and put down what supplies I used. Okay. All right. Think I got it now. So let's do this again. We're going to put this straight and we're going to give it a really good push. Maybe I didn't push it down good enough. But if it comes back out blank again, we'll just have to leave it. All right. Okay. Now, let's take it the best we can without touching it, because if you touch it, you're going to lose all the gold, the embossing's VersaMark on it, and it's not going to want to stick. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a little better. I can go with just that little bit. Yeah, that little bit we can handle. All right, so now let's try this. And I would recommend having paper under this, because as you can see, I did get that gold on my desktop. And getting gold on it is like getting glitter on everything. It makes it really hard to get it off of your desk. Oh, guys, this is so pretty. I'll hold it up closer once I get it done. But this is really pretty. Okay, there we go. Now, do you see the prettiness in that? Yeah, I really like that. Uh-oh, I missed a part up here. All right, now, the good thing about this tray is it has this little screw thing on here. You can take that and then you can pour it all back into your container, and you can reuse all of this embossing powder. Okay, so always don't dump it, because you can always reuse it. So let's clean the table off here. Let's get all of this done, because this is the only one we're going to use the gold on. Everything else is the white embossing. All right, let's see if I can get this gold off of my desktop. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I highly recommend that you put a paper under it using that much gold embossing powder. I recommend you put a paper under. Okay, so let's put that over there. And it is time to pull our project out. So here is this. Let's see. Let me get this baskets moved around here. Different projects going on. All right, so now what we need to do is we have to do our stamping. So we're going to open our pretty peacock. Come on. And we need to get our stamp out. Debbie, that might be a good idea using the Stamparatus. I did not even think about that. I don't use a lot of those big background stamps, but I would definitely try the Stamparatus because you are right. That probably would have helped it, give it that support. I didn't even think of that. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to get our block that we need to put this on. And I am getting the E-block. So we're going to put that on there. And then we're going to take it and tap it into our pretty peacock. Okay. And then we're going to put that straight onto our basic white. And press it down, making sure you got it really good. Awesome. And then we've got to cut this out. And I need to close this up. Close that up. And then we're going to do that onto, we're going to use our die now, and we're going to cut this out. And, oh, shucks. Remember, we're going to use both of the dies. We're going to use both of these dies right here to cut over our image. So, I don't know. Let's see, I'm going to show you how I'm doing this on the tray here. So these are the plates for my embossing stamp machine. So we're going to put that just like that. Line it up like you normally do. And then we have this one that also has to be lined up. So let's see if I can get this to be exact. All right. I think that's good there. And I just moved it. All right, come on, guys. Okay. So now we're going to take our other plate and we're going to do our sandwich. And this goes into our machine, and we will cut this. Okay. All right. And we're going to run it through both of them at the same time. So let's do that real quick. And let's see our finished product. So there is our finished product. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, oh, Debbie, I use that word all the time. All the time. My husband's family is from New York, so they're like you. They get a kick out of hearing me talk, and my country words that I use, they laugh all the time because to my countryness. So yeah, I use that word a lot. I am just a country gal. And also, I don't know if you've seen the new mini catalog or not, but there's actually a horse stamp and all of that in there. That is so me. That is just so me. We living on a farm. Of course, I have the horses. And so that stamp said, I seen it today while I was at the doctor's office. And it was like, oh yes, that's got my name all over it. So, all right, so now let's do our embossing for our sentiment. For this set, sentiment, I am using Get Well Soon. So let's pull that one off and let's stick that on our block. Get Well Soon. We need to get... Oh, my buddy. And for this one, I'm going to do it to the far left of my label. So that way I can do my bow on the other side. Okay. And here is this. All right, let's do Get Well Soon. Right in there. All right. And then I'm going to sprinkle the white embossing powder all over that. And I like to dump it twice over the project and then shake off the extra. And then we're going to take our heat gun. And once I do this, it's ready to go for assembling. There it goes. See it changing? That is how you know when it is ready. And then I just like going over it just a little more just to make sure it is all good to go. All right, so now we are ready to assemble our project. That is everything that we need to do for this project. We are going to take our adhesive, and I am using the Stampin' Seal, and I am going to give it an extra coating of adhesive, because sometimes when you do that embossing on there, it tends to need a little more adhesive than you normally would use. All right, so we're going to make sure we turn our card the right way and we're not opening it up backwards. I am gearing mine toward the right of the card, so therefore you're going to have more of the blank on the left side, and that's okay. All right. Oh, that's so pretty. Love that. All right, now what I need is my liquid glue. Let's see, is it in this basket? Yeah. Like I just opened a brand new liquid glue. Where is it? All right, so we're going to put this down. I'm going to put just a little bit. Well, I thought I was going to put just a little bit. Let me try to get some of that off of there because we don't want it all over the place. Because it's going to goose out. All right. So we're going to just kind of put it around and just try not to put big globs where you know it's going to be running out of the sides, because that'll mess up your project. All right. There we go. So we're going to take this. We're going to stick that straight in the center of our project. Oh, guys, that is so beautiful. I wish I had made this one for one of my Advent projects. Jeez. And then this is going to go right at the bottom here. Okay. And then we are going to take our Baker Twine Basic White, and we are going to do a double bow. And we will hook this on with a glue dot. Okay. So let's see if I can get this tied real quick. All right. Oh, come on. All right. Now, let's get our glue dots. And I am going to stick this, get my pick tool here, and we're going to put that right there. And I'm going to do another one just as a backup here. Give it that extra secured hold. And I think I need to make this just a little bigger. I cut my linen thread or my Baker twine a little short, so I better not go any bigger. So I don't have a big tail, but that's okay. So let's cut this tail off. There we go. All right, so there is project one. Can you see that gold? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, this was the sample that I did. This is stamped in crumb cake. And then this one here is the embossed. So you can do it either way. But I think the gold embossing really pops out there. All right, so there is project one. Let's go on to our next project here. And I will share with you that one. All right, so let's do this one next. Here is a Thinking of You. This is put on, thank you, Debbie. This is put on with our thick basic white, with a piece of basic white and pretty peacock in the background. And I'm going to show you a little technique trick using the banner punch on this one. And then on the inside, I stamped the foliage on the inside and left it blank. So that is card number 2 that we will be doing. Let me put my top on my green glue and put the top on this embossing powder, because that tends to get everywhere if you're not careful. And let me put some of my tools out of the way here. Got stuff all over. All right. So let's pull out our pieces that we're going to need for this project. So we've got our base card, which is the thick basic white. We have our piece of basic white. We have our scrap basic white. We have our pretty peacock that goes on the frame for this one. And then we have our label piece as well as our basic white for our label. All right, so this one's got a lot of layering to it. So let's close this up and go in here and do this. Let's take our bone folder and run it across that seal. All right. Now, I don't want to hook anything else on until we do our stamping and our cutting. So let's take this and do that real quick. So we're going to take our pretty peacock and we are going to stamp in here and tap that in, get it good and inked, and then we're going to stamp it and take it up. There we go. Now, hold on one second, guys. Grandson's going to bed. Good night, buddy. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Now we're going to take our dies and we are going to cut this out. And this is going to be the same process that it was before. So we're going to take both of our dies and run it through the cutting machine and do the same steps. Okay, so let me do that real quick. And sometimes I get my cutting done prior, but I wanted you to see the process of the stamping, so that is why I did not do all the die cutting. I've got the majority done, but I just wanted to go through the steps with y'all when we do these. All right, so here it comes. Okay. Let's set that back down. All right, let's see where we're at now. Take this. I just really love this set. There is so much that you can do with this set. It's just amazes me. All right, so now we're going to take our pretty peacock background and we are going to put that down like that. All right, now I know this one is a little different. I cut this out. I cut a frame out and did this one, but I am going to leave it solid for this piece. And we're going to do it just like that, okay? So let's get our green glue again. And hopefully this time it works with us and not go crazy. All right, here we go. And we're going to put it all down through here. We're going to put it in the corners. There. All right. And then this is going to go right there. All right. Now, we're ready to put this onto our cardstock. So I'm going to just put a little bit of our liquid glue on the back. And we're going to center this onto our card base. All right. Now, I wanted to stamp my sentiment here. This one I've got Thinking of You. And I'm going to share with you a little tip that you can do to make it look like you layered stuff. So let's stamp first, and then I'll show you that piece. All right, so we're going to take this, and we're going to say, Thinking of You. And we're going to stamp that just like that. And then we are going to take our what did I say this one was called? 3 banner punch. This is a brand new punch off of the online exclusive. So if you haven't got it yet, I highly recommend this because it is so good to have a good banner punch. So we want that middle one for this. So we're going to take this and we're going to center it under there. just like this. Okay. Punch it out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our pretty peacock and we're going to cut the same banner. Okay, and you're saying, well, Jennifer, they're the same size, so how are you going to use it? Well, let me show you how you do this. To make it look like you have double layered this, take your snips and you're going to cut this in half. Okay? Then you're going to use just a little bit of liquid glue. And you're going to take your label and you're going to line it up to stick it across there to make it look like you actually have two pieces of stuff on there. Hey, Candy, how are you? Been thinking about you, my friend. All right, come on. There we go. We're going to put just a little bit. And again, we're doing the same thing. You're going to take it to the end. You're going to take it to the end as far as you want it to show your teal or your peacock, not teal. And then you're going to just layer it under there and make sure you're straight. And that way nobody knows that you cut that in half, and it makes it look like you have two pieces. Hey, Sandy, how are you? All right, guys. So now we are ready to put our dimensionals on here. And now I can't put my hand on them. Let's see if I got a pick. Here we go. All right, so now we're going to put this, I'm going to do 3. So we're going to do one on the ends, one in the middle. We're going to do one on the end, and then let's do this one in the middle. All right, and then of course I'm going to use my back here. Come on. I'm going to take my pick tool and pick off these backs. And then this is going to go at the bottom of our design here. All right, now we are ready to put this on the front of our card. And of course, I did dimensionals on here. All right, so we're gonna do 3, 3, and 3. Okay, and that way this don't sag. All right. So let's take these off. All righty. Come on. We're going to take these off. And then it's going to go on the card front. Make sure you're turning it the right way. And then we're going to layer this onto our card front. So there is your Thinking of You card. All right, then on the inside, I took the foliage and I just stamped it in the corner here. And I did it in the pretty peacock, and I did 3. So that's 1. And then I didn't do all the way, I did not do it all the way up, so I'm going to get a piece of scrap here. And then we're going to do one more There we go. Those go in the bottom corner there. All right, you see I've got the ink on the inside of the stamp, so now I got to figure out how to camouflage that before I can send this out to someone. So we'll figure that out at a later time. But there is our project number 2. All right, so let's move on to project number 3. All righty, project number 3. I really love this one. I think this is my favorite. All right, so here is project 3. Let me move the ink pad because I'm going to get pretty Peacock on my pretty card. All right, so here we go. Like I said, I think this is going to be my favorite. It's simple, but yet beautiful. So I've got the thick basic white cardstock, pretty peacock, excuse me, and the basic white on the top, and then on the inside I just stamped the little foliage down in the bottom. So this one here, we've got our basic white cardstock. We're going to fold it at the crease, and then we're going to take our bone folder and run across it here, giving it that great sweep. All right. And then we have our pretty peacock. And I used dimensionals on this. I didn't realize I did that, but I did. So before we do that, let's do our stamping. And then we will do the dimensionals and hook it all together. So I took the pretty peacock and our foliage stamp here and tapped it into our pretty peacock. And then down in the left-hand corner, I just picked a spot and went straight down. Straight up. Perfect. And for this one, for the sentiment, I said, "You are on my mind and in my heart." So this bundle can be used for a lot of a variety of cards that you would need to use it for. It has great sentiments in it, and there is so many things you can do. Whether you are a beginner or whether you are a advocate, you can dress this stamp set up as much as you would like. So while we're stamping, let's go ahead and stamp the inside of our card here. And we are going to tap that, and we're going to go straight down in the bottom. All right. Now, we are getting peacock everywhere. I don't normally get it all over me. I don't know why this one is all over me. All right, so what I did with this is just put my Stampin' Seal here on the back, and it goes straight onto our pretty peacock cardstock. And we're going to put it just like that. Okay, now is the time where we need our dimensionals for our back. And because I am out of dimensionals on here, I am going to use the outside of my dimensional pack because they are dimensionals, guys. Don't waste it. That works just like your dimensionals. Okay. And now that I'm using this, I see I do have a few dimensionals that I could have used. So, but I'm just taking it and I'm cutting the edges of my dimensional pack because they're dimensionals. Don't throw free dimensionals away. All right, we're going to take that and snip that off because it is just a little bit too long. All right, now we're going to pull those backs off just like you would individual dimensionals. And look how much easier these are. Just one string and pull. All right, so now this is ready to go on our card front. And need to make sure it is centered. Oh, come on, don't do that. It's not centered. All right. There we go. All right, there is card number 3. Look at there, how pretty. You see? All right, so that's card number 3. All right, let's pull out card number 4. Our last card for tonight, guys. And then, don't forget, I'll be back in the morning at 6:15 with Coffee and a Card with Jennifer. I am excited. I love my morning coffee time with you guys. I thoroughly enjoy doing that. It's half and half on watching. Sometimes I get a lot of viewers, and then sometimes it's replays. But that's okay. I enjoy doing it, and I love that you come back and watch the replays, because I know 6:15 in the morning is a bright and early morning. So with this one, we have got our thick basic white for our card base. We have strips out of the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. We have our pretty peacock pieces. We have our basic white piece. All right, so those are the pieces, and let me share with you the card. So it opens up like this. I love this. I think it is so pretty. All right, so that is our 4th card. So here we go. Let's get started. So we're going to take our basic white and we're going to fold it. Give it that good score line. Now to get the Z fold, we're going to take the top piece and we're going to fold it back to match the crease in it. Okay, and then you're going to run your bone folder through there to really score that piece. Okay, so that is how you get your fold. Okay, now let's unfold and do our layers. So you've got your basic white. We are going to put a piece of pretty peacock right there. We're going to put our Designer Series paper on top of that. Okay, so these two are going to go just like that. So let's go ahead and put our Stampin' Seal on the back of this. And we're going to center that onto our pretty peacock. And this is for the inside of our card. Okay, now let's take this and we'll do the same thing. Go ahead and put your adhesive on here. And then that goes in the center of your card base. Just like that. All right. Now we're going to take, we've got 2 strips of pretty peacock, and they're going to go into the 2 Z folds there. So we're going to go ahead and take our adhesive and run it down the center of our pretty peacock, and then we're going to attach it directly into there like that. All right, and then we're going to take this one and we're going to run it that way, and it goes right, yeah, and it goes right here. Okay, then we've got 2 strips of designer paper, so we're going to put that on top of the pretty peacock, and we're going to take this one, and I'm going ahead and put my adhesive on both of the strips, and you can do that as long as you don't put your hand in it and then get it all over everything. All right, so we're going to do it that way, and then we're going to do this one right there. All right, so that is the base of the card. Okay, I think this is so pretty. Give it that good fold there. Okay, now we're going to take our piece of Pretty Peacock and our basic white, and they go together just like this, and they're going to go on the inside of our card. And you can write your little message on there for that. Now when you put this in, you want it to put it as close as you can to the edge, so whenever you take your other piece, this is going to cover up your inside. So you want to make sure you have it in there far enough that it's going to cover your inside. Okay? So right there is where it needs to go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put our adhesive on here. Okay, so there is that. Now we need to do our piece of basic white. So what we did for that is we stamped, and then we did the same cutout that we've been cutting out. All right. And we're going to stamp that right there. And then we're going to do our cutting. So let's get our plates out. Let's get our embossing machine back up here so we can get this cut out. And guys, we're almost done. We're about to wrap this up, okay? Give me 1 second and we will have our projects completed. I try to keep my videos at an hour, and I'm going just a little bit over, so I do apologize. But with me not doing all the cutting in advance, that does take up time. And also I did heat emboss on 2 of the cards and had to start over on that one since I messed up the heat emboss piece. But that's okay. Here we go. All right, so this is going to wrap this up. Let's see. Oh, why did it do that? It didn't take all the little pieces out. Left me to poke them out. Oh my goodness. Hadn't done that before. All right, come on. All right. There we go. All right, we got you. Let me put them over there because I don't want that machine to fall off. Okay. So this is going to get some liquid glue on it, and then it will go directly on the Pretty Peacock, guys. Okay. I hope you're hanging in there. Like I said, I'm almost finished. Once we put this on the front and do our sentiment, this card will be ready to go. Okay, so we're going to take this. And then this is going to go straight onto that piece. And then we are doing sending love. And that is done with the heat emboss. Okay. So for this project, I pretty much used all of the stamps that is in this sentiment, in this bundle here. So again, I do have 2, possibly 3 packets available for the craft along. If you are interested, there is a total of 12 projects, a PDF file with step-by-step instructions for all 12 projects, and you will get also, there is a video that will post daily starting December the 2nd. So if you were interested and just did not get registered, reach out to me and I will give you one of the sets that I have available, because I did prep extra. And I want to say it's like 2. But if you're interested, reach out to me and I will be happy to get you set up, okay? And then Sunday, I will be back live with our final Christmas series number 6. And then hopefully by then, everybody's got their cards together. And I am working on classes for December. So stay tuned for that. All right. We are getting down to the end of the year. And then next week, Stampin' Up is doing a Black Friday sale. And I also have my own Black Friday sale that I will be doing as well. So that information is coming. Okay, so stay tuned and I will make sure you get connected with all the information. So make sure you are on my email list so you don't miss anything, because that is how advertisement is done. All right, we're going to use our bender punch again to cut out our sentiment for sending love. Okay. And then this I did put this on with adhesive. So I'm going to use some liquid glue. Put that on there. Put it down at the bottom. Put the top on that. Now when you go to put this on to your card, you're going to want to make sure you only put it on that one side, because otherwise you will close your card up and it's not going to open correctly. Well, it wouldn't open it at all. So make sure you don't close up your card. And then you just want to kind of layer it to where it is going to cover the inside of your tag there. So just make sure you have it to where it covers up the piece that you're going to write on. So there is card number 4. All right, so let's put all the cards out here so you can see them. All right, so that was card number 4. Let's bring out card 3. Okay, and then we have card 2. And then we have card 1. All right, guys, let's put this out just a little bit so you can see all the projects in here. All right, guys, that finishes up the free with the purchase class. Remember, this is a free class with a minimum of a $45 order. Use the shopping link in this video. And if you place the order, then I will send you all of the supplies to make these projects without any of the stamping. I will do all the die cutting and all of the cardstock cutting, all that type of stuff, but I will not, and you also get a free PDF step-by-step instruction, but I can't do any of the stamping. So for this, for instance, for this piece right here, I would be giving you just a piece of white cardstock so you could do your own design there. All right, but there would be no stamping. So if you want the cards to look exactly like mine, then when you're ordering, get the Foliage bundle is what I did. Use. This is called the Friendly Voltage. And I use for this one here, I use the Last Linen. All right, guys, that is it. Place your order between now and Friday to get this as a free class. All right, guys, I will be back in the morning at 6:15 with a coffee and a card with Jennifer. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate each and every one. And don't forget to share my video, like my video, and follow me on Facebook, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much, guys.